was like, I used to live downtown, and my sister says it's crazy there right now. And he was like, oh, I live downtown. I was like, oh, that's awesome. Where? And he was like, 14th in Alabama, and that's where I live. And I was like,
wait, I just heard this story. This is the second time I heard this story today, by the way. So keep going.
No way.
I'm having this deja vu matrix thing. Yeah, somebody just told me the same.
Deja vu all over again.
okay.
Yeah, every day.
So he said that, and I was like, dude, what house did you live in? Because there aren't any. My apartment building was the only one around. Like, it's all these big old Victorian homes. And I was like, what house did you live in? And he was like, oh, I lived in the apartment building right there. We lived in the same building in Indianapolis. Like, and I was like, what? I was like, how long have you been in San Diego? We moved out of that building the same week.
That is so, this is so
He was at one end and I was at the other end. Like, it was this long, skinny building. And so I was on this end of the third floor and he was on that end of the second floor. And I was like, this is blowing my mind. So he was like, yeah, I mean, I've been to San Diego several times. And I was like, yeah, I live in OB now. And he was like, I used to live in OB. He lived in the same
What's
building.
OB? What's OB?
Ocean Beach. He lived in the same building in OB that I lived in OB. Like, that I was living in at that time. He was like, my dad and I used to live in that building. You know how many units are in that building? 6.
See, that's a wacky doodle part of life.
Right? So all of this happened, and this was maybe 6 or 7 months later. I love him. Like, really, really love him. When the surfers would be mean to him, I would, like, pull them aside and be like, don't you ever talk to him that way in front of me again. Like, ever. Like, I will kill you if I hear you say those things to him. But anyway, so this was like 6 months later, and he was telling me, he was like, yeah, I have to move, I'm going to school. Where the fuck do you think he's going? Fort Collins. So now he lives in Fort Collins, and I live here, and I love him.
Are you having a rich life that disappeared out of you?
Yep.
Okay.
No, that's a very nice way of putting it. That's a very nice way of putting that.
I'm a little distracted by your storytelling. Distracted from that, how beautiful you are.
Look at her. I'm distracted by that flannel.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. It actually helps to contrast.
Your plummy flannel.
I'm kidding.
I love the flannel.
I know you do. A boy that you're sitting with gave it to you. I know. What?
I like the flannel anyway.
Okay.
But isn't that a great story?
It's hard for me to answer because it's like the story's not over, and I'm just thinking about like this thing.
I know. As soon as I get a
thing
moment,
right
I'm gonna
there.
drive up there. I've been texting him like every weekend, like, are you 21 yet? Yeah, are you 21 yet? I really have.
So he can come up and visit and cheers. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.